Chef Bill.
Chef Bill. Which one is it? Chef
I don't know.
Bill
I don't know what to call you.
Which is
Because
it?
now Bill's cooking.
Really?
I cook a lot now.
Now he's cooking.
Like you're doing some chef?
He's
I
cooking.
made
yeah.
some pretty good pot pie the other night. Let me show you a picture real quick.
No
Oh
way.
my goodness.
It
Oh
can't-
God.
the
Oh
sun-
my God.
So the first time I did it was Sunday, and then
For the
and
Popeye?
it was a little dry, you know. But I bought too much, and my God, I think I deleted it. I bought too much. I bought like twice the amount. So I was like, well, I can make more now. But I was like, but I want to make it creamier this time.
Yeah.
So it came out much better. The second, it was good the first time. The second time, it was even better. That's the first time though. It was pretty good. My kids loved it.
Wow.
They're like,
Hey, so yeah, so long as they eat it and it's gone.
yeah.
I love pot pies.
They said, is this from a restaurant? I was like, who, me?
Me. Okay, so
Is
ready?
it
Are we
real
recording?
expensive buying all the ingredients? Or it depends?
Well, because
The chicken is gonna be the most expensive thing. Everything else is just the crust, celery, onion.
And the chicken's not even all that expensive
That's right.
either.
That's right. Then you got the chicken broth. I remember all of it.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact.
Wow.
Milk.
Now, do you buy the chicken breast, or do you buy the whole chicken, or do you buy the quarter legs?
I bought the whole chicken, so I didn't know what I was doing. But I do it
Okay.
again. I do it again. So
Yeah.
Same thing, you know. So yeah, but I didn't make the chicken. I just bought it made. So I was like, I'm already doing a lot because I made the gravy from scratch, the sauce, you know. So I was like, okay, I don't need a. The
Okay,
chicken ain't a big
so
deal.
if you were to make one like that, okay, it's a big one this size, right?
It's a 9, you know, typical pie.
Yeah, the typical, okay. So what would you sell that for?
If I had to sell it,
Uh-huh.
probably $15. It feeds a good amount. More
When
than
can you
two.
make me one?
You want to make you one?
Yeah,
I'll make you one.
I'll pay
But
for
I
it.
make it by two, like by I make 2 at a time.
Yes,
So
I'll buy both of them.
sure.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
look,
That's a way to make money.
Sure.
And people that love
Don't
Popeyes,
forget to bring
especially
the-
like this weather,
I didn't think about that.
if you can make me some for, get what you need.
Well,
but
let
then
me
like
figure
for
out how
next
much
week.
I spent, 'cause I don't even know how much I spent.
Okay, and then like for next week, because it's going to get cold.
Oh, it is.
It's going to be freezing cold, they said. It's going to feel like 17.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Oh, you got Naftali's cup?
He gave it to me. Honors him.
He gave it to me.
You didn't get one yet from him? Okay, here's the stuff.
Hey, that's probably my cup.
Oh yeah, we've been recording, by the way.
okay, so okay,
But it's
so
okay.
We've been
Don't
recording.
go away.
Okay,
We'll
so
be right
hello.
back with more of Bill and his home cooking.
That's right.
Okay, so hi, my name is Melissa Franklin. Hello, San Antonio, and I'm so happy to introduce to the Bill Martinez Show. We have a guest, Brandy, and we have, of course, our host, Bill.
How's it going? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for.
I'm getting ready, Bill, for your show. So, because I have had a long day and my eyes look tired, I need to put some of this little cream that they say it really works.
That is fine. That is fine.
Right underneath your eye. So if I start looking, does it turn white?
Yeah, it shouldn't. Don't put too much.
Oh shit! I just put like a whole
Or was it
pound.
good?
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't go to Sephora and grab this myself.
So I don't know if you guys heard me out there. I wasn't holding the mic at the time, but we were talking about the chicken pot pie that I made. And
Is that for me?
your mom wants to buy some chicken pot pie from me.
Yes. I want to try. Hey, this is what we're about. You know,
Go ahead,
this
go
is
ahead.
what we're about, Bill. Is we support each other, and if that's what you do,
I mean,
And-
that's
and-
not what I do. That's what I
I mean,
did.
but
you
it's
know?
one of the things that you did. But to me, it sounded delicious, and then I
was
saw the
great.
photo,
It was great.
and I'm willing to pay
The second time it came out. even
because I
better.
have no
I picked
idea
that
how to.
one.
I don't know how to make pot pie. Well, because you see, the regular one is little, and it really doesn't have very much in there. Not even the banquet pot pies.
Yeah.
not to put banquet down or anything, because I do love,
There's
banquet.
a pound of chicken in each of my pies.
There
I'll
you
tell
go.
that
You
much.
see, I'd
A
rather take
pound
the
of-
pound of chicken. It's like you, son. It's like Moncrief. Moncrief's favorite dish is an Italian dish with the bow ties.
What's the dish called? Oh, is that right?
Uh,
The Moncrief?
The Moncrief manja.
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 Is there like a chicken in it or
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah. It's kind of like
What color is the sauce? Did you say it was green?
no. It's green if it stays sitting there forever
Yeah.
in the fridge and you forget about it. No, it's
gonna
like
say,
a
like
like a
pesto?
little pasta reddish. You add color to it. I don't know where the color comes from. The sauce.
Marinara kind of thing?
Yeah, I have no idea. I've never really. He doesn't let us watch him make it.
Oh, really?
He just makes it, but it's delicious. Also.
Oh, you make it.
Yeah, he makes it by scratch too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's like his favorite signature dish.
That's the authenticity between mine and what Bill Googled. YouTube.
But it came out better because the second time that gravy was thick and saucy and, it was great.
Wow.
Don't be hating.
Don't be
He's jealous,
hating.
I think. He's jealous. He's a little jealous. But yeah, lately I've been doing more cooking at home and gotten kind of tired of my old boring cooking. Because for a long time, I have kids, and you come home from school, you don't want to spend all evening cooking,
Right, right.
You want to have some time with them. So it was just quick meals, something like 30 minutes or less. Did that for years. No prep work, nothing, just bam, 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 eating, we're done. But lately, now that they're getting older, I want them to have better memories of home-cooked meals and stuff. And then my
Yeah,
daughter, she
yeah.
likes to cook because she's been cooking with
There
me.
you go.
And so I want to show her some new things, but I got to test it out for myself first, So what did we make the other day? I don't know, but we've been trying different things. She's having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun too. So
Wow.
I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
But I'm not a chef. I wouldn't say that. Not at all.
Well,
So,
you
but
know.
I'll make you those chicken pot pies.
Okay.
That's for sure.
You are a chef. You're a chef in your own home.
Yeah.
In your
I
own
guess so.
kitchen.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But we are with. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes. Hello. Hi, I'm Brandy Lopez.
And you want to tell us a little bit about yourself so that way your audience gets to know who you are?
Again, thank you so much for having me back on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's been about a year. I said last year, which was a week ago. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's great to be back and great to be in this beautiful place. Wow, it's amazing. But as y'all know, my name is Brandy Lopez, or you may not know. I am the San Antonio Riverwalk Royal Ambassador. I am also an actress and entrepreneur. But most importantly, it's about giving back to our community. And the holidays are now behind us, and Happy New Year to everyone.
Yeah.
Bill, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Great things are going to happen for
They're
all
already-
of us, and they're already in the
yeah,
works.
Yeah,
Yes.
I believe that.
Yep.
I believe that. So, how long have you been an actress?
Oh, my God. For decades, I'll just say.
Yeah. You don't
Yeah.
want to say how long, huh?
For decades.
Was it like a struggle to get your first start, or did you just accidentally fall into
No,
it, or
it wasn't a struggle at all. I mean, it just happened. I happened to be at the right place
Mm-hmm.
at the right time, and it was just like a dream. I've always dreamt of being an actress when I was little and watched TV. I'm like, wow. And then as I got older,
was there somebody you admired?
yes, there were a lot of people. My grandparents used to watch a lot of novelas.
Okay.
So I love the novelas, all the way they would just get out there and I don't like to use the word act. To me, when I'm out there, and I learned this from Brandon Olmos, his dad, Edward James Olmos,
Oh, okay.
will say, because he's on the Mayans and all this. And when he get out there, Brandon says, Dad would always say, remember, today we are not here to act. We're here to be who we are, right? So you get in there, you get into that character, so you become that character, So it's more natural. You
Okay.
know, so a lot of people
So
say
is it like finding that character within? Kind of
within
thing?
you bring
Okay.
yeah, you find that character within you, and then you bring it out. So it's like reality, like it's really happening. Because a lot of times, a lot of what the characters that we play or portray, there is someone out there that can relate to that character
Sure.
or
Yeah.
that person. I know for a fact I can relate to a lot of the characters that I've played, especially as a mom, you know, losing a son, losing a child. When I'm doing something similar to that, it's like it hits home. So I'm not acting, it's real.
I guess, would it be like a means of expressing that emotion that you
Yeah,
have already,
yeah,
but putting it on
and
film,
putting
I
it on
guess?
film and letting it out.
Okay.
It gives you the opportunity to just let it out, because a lot of times, me, for instance, I speaking for myself, I hold it inside.
Okay.
I hold it inside, and when I'm that character, it's like, wow, I feel in my heart that God gave me this opportunity, gave me this role, because He needs me to let it out, whatever it is that I'm feeling.
Wow. Okay.
And so, with one of the directors, I was in a telenovela 2 months ago. And, the character that I portrayed, it had emotional moments, you know. Not so much with me, losing a child, nothing like that, but just in who that person was and how her heart went out to the other character. So as a mom and as a friend. So, it has this, I love it, Bill. I just love it.
Does it feel like work?
To me, it never really does.
No.
It doesn't. When you have the passion and you have the love for what you do, you're not going to look at it as a job.
See, but if you don't mind holding your mic a little closer. But okay, so you said you wanted to do acting since you were a little girl, right? Mm-hmm. And so you came into this accidentally, you said, right? Mm-hmm. So did you know early on that was your passion, even though you came into it accidentally?
Yeah.
Okay.
My aunt, may she rest in peace, my Aunt Eloise would always call me Erica Kane.
From Young and the Rest?
No, all my children.
All my children. Yeah, I was like...
Erica Kane. And
okay.
I'm like, why is she calling me Erica Kane? Why did she call me that? Esa es una Erica Kane. Ahí está la Erica Kane. And then I would, later I find out, and she'll tell me, the reason, because you dress elegant, the way I see you, you need to be in that TV, in front of that tube, inside that tube.
And how old were you when she was saying these things to you?
Man, I was young. I was still like in my...
Teenage years?
Yeah, my teenage years.
Wow,
Yeah.
she was already calling you that. She already saw that then.
She had seen it, yeah.
Wow,
But,
okay.
but when we were little, we used to do a lot of plays for the family. When
Oh,
we
is
were
that
young.
right?
Oh, yeah. I have my cousin Marcus. A lot of my cousins, they have so much talent, And my cousin Rosemary, Belinda, we would do Thanksgiving, and everybody would go to my grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
And there was probably about 100 of us.
Dang.
But all the kids, we knew that we had to put on a show for the family. So back then, if you recall, celebrating Thanksgiving, or even as children, they taught us about the Pilgrims and the Indians.
Yeah.
So guess what? We would make our costumes. They'd make our costumes.
So even the parents were behind it.
Well,
like
not so
helping.
much the parents.
Okay,
They didn't know.
okay.
It was the cousins, the older cousins.
Oh, okay.
And then my cousin Marcus, who's a fashion designer, he actually grew up to be a great fashion designer.
Wow,
If
okay.
you drive by Julian Gold on McCullough and you look at the windows of the mannequins, that's his work. Marcus lived in New York forever, and he would does great fashion designing.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's the one, and he was young. He was also young, but he knew what to do. And they would put we'd have our pilgrim costumes, the guys, with the pilgrim hats and everything.
Yeah.
We would really, really do this.
Wow.
And it was so much fun. So all our parents, aunts, uncles, my grandparents, they would all sit out under the carport. And we would put on a show for them.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. So, you know,
Whose idea was that, like, to start acting in front of the parents or the family or whatever? Like, do you just remember always doing that as a kid?
yeah.
Or?
I mean, I think it was probably, I want to say that it started with our older cousins, with Belinda, Rosemary, my cousin Robert, a lot of my older cousins. But they knew that we loved doing that because we did. We would always, even if we were at one of my aunt's house or the parents would all go to weddings and stuff, we were always putting on little plays.
Wow. Oh, that's interesting.
So-
That's like a different childhood from the kind I had. We weren't trying to put stuff together like that. No.
Yeah.
So
No.
it's interesting to hear how the whole family was kind of
Yeah.
behind the same vision or entertainment or whatever it was. You know,
Yeah.
it's just the same kind of idea of fun, I guess.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. You know, growing up, my uncle Mario, my uncle Lawrence, especially my uncle Lawrence, these are my mom's two youngest siblings. And so I live with my grandparents because they pretty much are the ones that, you know, raised me. But when they would take care of us, my uncle would listen to all this music. So I was young. I was like 3 years old, 4 years old. They were teaching me about music, the title of the song, who the artist was, and what record label or the
wow.
recording.
All that
So
stuff.
when my other cousins would come over and they would babysit all of us while our parents went to weddings or whatnot, I would always win because I knew the title of the song. And so even music was a big passion, a part of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
very
So
cool.
yeah, Bill, we had we had an exciting life, you
Yeah.
know, growing up, you know, putting the plays together. There's, I mean, back in 1979, no, yeah, 1979, I think, or whenever Grease came out.
Yeah, around that time. Yeah.
Yeah. So we went right after, a bunch of us went to go see the movie. Cousins and friends from Holy Cross, from St. Francis Academy, from Providence. We all went to go watch the movie, and we went to the record shop afterwards, bought the big old 33 album back then, went home and played the song. We knew all the song, the whole album.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so we would do that. But that's just, you know, those are things that I hold dear to my heart, and that's what keeps me going, because this is what I love to do.
Okay. Wow. How long have you been doing the charities or the give back? Been involved in that?
Oh, wow. We have always given back, you know, always found ways of helping families in need. So that's something that I think all of our family has done for decades, probably even before I was even born,
Oh, okay.
that they would always help. But when my kids were little, you know, I always wanted to give back and help. And you see, you know, little kids, you could take yours, and you know, my kids were always having dressed the best and had everything. And then when you would see other kids, it would make you feel bad. So one day I remember telling Eric and Moncrief and Diamond, but Diamond was still little, that, you know, let's go and feed the homeless. Let's go and participate. So that's how it all started.
Okay.
And then one year, even at work, even when I was working, I would find ways to collect money to see if we could help somebody or help a family.
Oh.
Yeah. And so, you know, when the boys saw that, we did go one time to, I want to say it was maybe an Elf Louise or one of those big organizations. And when my son, Eric, who passed away, saw that, you know, the cars that were pulling up and the kids, and that he heard one of the kids said, "This isn't what I wanted," and made a face. So that really disappointed my son. He says, "Mom, you know, there are kids out there who, even if they get a pair of socks, they're happy."
Yeah.
So we decided, you know what, we're going to do it different. So what we would do is collect toys. I had one year in River Crossing at our house out in Spring Branch. We did Una Noche con las Estrellas, an evening with the stars, La Familia Christmas special. And I invited several people, music artists, to participate in the Christmas special, and we collected toys.
Oh.
And so that year, I remember I asked for 5 families: the East Side, the West Side, South, Central, and North,
Oh, okay.
that we could bless that year. And I remember my friend Hot Henrietta, she was with Hot KTFM. And Henrietta says, Brandy, there's a family in the west side of town, I think Veracruz Street in Guadalupe.
Man, you remember that?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And she said the parents are incarcerated and the kids are being raised by the grandparents. And grandfather is bedridden, And so that year we blessed them. It was, and all the other families. But there was something about that family that was very special because they lived in a little casita,
Yeah.
And to see these kids and to take them, so many gifts so that they could open up at Christmas. And we blessed them with, also with food so that they can, have a nice Thanksgiving or actually Christmas dinner, but it was turkey with the trimmings and, but yeah. So that's been something that it escalated to something bigger every year. I even had it one year at Wonderland of the Americas Mall,
Oh, wow.
where Ross is at, that Ross Dress for Less, that was empty. And I was blessed to meet the owner of the mall, who is the same owner that owns the Galleria Mall in Houston.
Oh, okay.
So he happened to be in San Antonio at his mall. He owns that. And I was able to meet him. And I was with 2 of my other business partners. And for a whole year, we housed out of there. He gave us an office. And then he goes, what would you like, Brandy? I said, I'd like to have my gala here, my San Antonio Star Gala, because that's when we found it, the San Antonio Star Gala. And he says, okay. And he thought, there at the mall, there's some ballrooms there. And he thought I wanted one of the ballrooms. I said, no, sir, I'd like one of your empty stores. Pick the one you want. And that Ross, we turned it into a ballroom. You walked the red carpet. There were like 2 big, huge Oscar statues on each side. It was just beautiful. We even had the Spurs Coyote. I had all the judges from the courthouse that came, even colonels and generals from the military.
Wow,
It was
okay.
beautiful. So that year we collected toys like you wouldn't believe it. Of course, it was hard for me to go. I couldn't go and deliver all the toys.
Yeah, sure.
So what I did was I divided the toys between small organizations.
Oh, okay.
Like one of them was a good friend of mine, Margo Morones. Margarito, may he rest in peace. He was at the Market Square in the inside. So he had an embroidery where he made caps, a lot of merchandise for the music artists and stuff. And so he would go to Crystal City every year and throw a big Christmas party for all the children out there.
Wow.
But he would show up with trailers because everybody don't give toys.
Trailers of toys?
Toys
Wow.
for the
Okay,
kids.
okay.
So here would come the kids from Crystal City, from La Pryor, all those little towns, And it was just such a big blessing for those kids. Now, those are the children that, they probably didn't have a pair of shoes.
Oh, man.
And so Margot, his heart would go out to them. Then there was Rocky Hernandez, who's another music artist, and he would give to the Christus Santa Rosa downtown to the children, And then one year we went to, the Brooks Army, the medical center for the cancer kids. So we've given, helped. Sometimes you want to bless as much and as many as you can, but if we can, bless so many, and maybe the following year more. And if people all come together
Mm-hmm.
and really attend these fundraisers or these toy drives, you're blessing the children.
Hi, back in the podcast. I think Moncrief would actually like to join in the conversation. He was actually saying.
I mean, if he wants, he can come on if he wants to, but otherwise, it's all right.
Moncrief is
No, you know.
Brandy's.
Hold on, hold on. let me keep talking to Brandy though about some things, and we'll see if he wants to jump on.
He's going to jump on.
Okay, if he wants to. But
Yeah, you know what? It would probably be good because to get to hear what my son, what his thoughts are, and what did he experience during that time. We never know.
That's up to you.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna make
It's
you.
up to you, son.
I'm not gonna make you.
But yeah, so that's the whole thing, Bill. Being an actress, trying to get the business off the ground. The commercial cleaning business. Everything that I do, there's a purpose. It's not about me. Yeah, survival. We all have to survive.
Yeah.
And sometimes, times are hard, for everyone. Sometimes it just hits home, but we don't give up. We have faith in God. And, we walk by faith and not by sight. And that's always been something. If you read my bio and at the bottom, you'll see that. I've said that forever. That's one of my favorite verses. I walk by sight. I walk by faith and not by sight. And so, giving back is really what makes me just the happiest.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
And if it means that landing a role in a movie, working on something where I'm getting paid, and if I can put a percentage of that aside, for a couple of toys or for something to help and give back.
Do you remember your first role?
Yeah, it was a school play.
Yeah. Okay. In the professional world, how about that?
Yeah, actually, one of my first ones and my best one, that I really always talk about, is my role on General Hospital. One of the scenes that that I always remember this was here in San Antonio, and it was at a bar on Zarzamora and Reese Street.
On General Hospital?
They
They used to shoot here?
we for a whole month.
Oh, I didn't know
filmed
that.
Here. Yeah.
Okay.
It was in 1984.
Okay.
1984. I was in my wardrobe, an orange skirt, long, because this was Mexico.
Oh, okay.
This is Mexico, so they dressed me up in
Okay.
with the different, an orange top. As a matter of fact, if you go to the archives, the Texas archives, right across the street from the courthouse downtown.
Okay.
There's a museum there now, and it's for Latinos in film and television.
Oh, wow.
So I'm on the wall there.
Oh, that's cool.
And that photo is right there where we're taking a break, sitting outside, and I'm with a couple of the actors. One of my dear friends, Linda Guzman, she passed away in 2000. But yeah, we're sitting there, and as a matter of fact, I sent that photo to my friend Debbie Holmes, who used to do our hair and makeup on the set. She lives in LA. And I said, oh my God, who picked out this ugly color, this wardrobe? Because I look at it, and it's like a long skirt with the top. But that was, one of my great scenes. And the reason I remember that one very well is because Omar, my ex-husband, one of the secretaries, Pauline, told him, oh, Brandy called. She won't be going home tonight. They're having a big after party and stuff. The next thing, I'm doing my scene, and I'm walking out, and we had to do cut because there he is standing with two of his workers. Came to the set. So, but yeah, that General Hospital, Gloria Monty was a producer then. And so I'll never forget when I said, wow, they just asked for my autograph. Why would they want it? And she looked at me. She says, from now on, you will always be giving your autograph.
Wow.
Yeah. And we took pictures, and of course, she passed away several years ago. But you know, you get to meet a lot of great people. Everybody's just normal. It's just a job that we all do, you know. And a lot of the times you remain good friends and you stay in touch.
Now you just came. You were just came back from California, didn't you?
Yes.
Were you in L.A.?
Yeah. I was flew into LA, drove out to Burbank, and we were in Santa Clarita, California.
Now you left before the fires started, right?
Yes.
So have you been paying at all attention to the fire? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any friends out there who have been
Yes,
affected?
a lot of friends. As a matter of fact, I stay in touch with Brandon Olmos, which his dad is the actor Edward James Olmos.
Okay.
And when we flew up there, those were the two first people that we went to go visit. They were waiting for me at Uncle Bernie's. Uncle Bernie's is in the San Fernando Valley, Encino.
Is it a bar? Or is it
It's a restaurant.
Okay.
You know, it's a Jewish restaurant.
Okay.
And they have been waiting there for us for 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
And Brandon's dad said, we're not leaving till Brandy gets here. And we ended up spending like 3 hours with him. But Brandon sent me a photo last week. And he said, Brandy, look at the smoke, look at the fire. It's right there by Uncle Bernie's where we were at.
Oh, wow.
I said, oh my God. And then I picked up the phone, I called him and I said, Brandon, your dad only lives 3 minutes from there. And so his dad had to evacuate.
Oh.
And Brandon says, and I'm getting ready to evacuate. Because Brandon's like maybe another 5 minutes from there.
Yeah.
You know, not
Wow.
even, you know. And so he says, so I'm going to evacuate as well. He says, I don't even think I'm going to take the clothes with me. I'm just going to take some of the artwork that my grandmother gave me before she passed away and stuff. So, you know, it was hard. And then another friend that I was actually in his trailer on a movie that he was working on, the story of Gus Garcia here in San Antonio. I was part of that trailer. His name is Jaime Gomez, and Jaime Gomez was on Training Day, the movie.
Okay.
And he's done several movies, but he was with Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke, and his house burnt down to the ground.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And then I spoke with another friend of mine, Jackie. Tabby, they were just here. They were here for Christmas and for New Year's Eve. And they spent New Year's Eve with me at the Jewel. Surprised me by showing up. And
okay.
I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know y'all were still here. She was trying to talk me, and she'll, Brandy, just go back with us on Sunday. They were flying back Sunday. And I said, you know, I do need to go because I got to get back there, and Brandon and I are going to work on some things. God, if I could just get away and go at least for a week. Had I gone, I'd probably be stuck over there. Wow. And then Jackie, because she has, she has a health issue, her doctor needed to see her, but she says, Brandy, I don't know which direction to go. It's so smoky out there, and it was affecting her health. And so, but luckily they were okay.
That's good.
But it's like, it's a scary thing.
Yeah.
You know, when you hear of everyone, Mel Gibson was just in Austin last week or
Yeah.
this past week.
Yeah.
And look at that. He flies back home to go find that his house is gone.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah. So.
It's like, how do you control something like that, you know? when
Yeah, yeah. And the last time when I was up there, several years ago, the fire was going, they had a fire out there, and it was in Anaheim and all, you know, in the Los Angeles. And I'll never forget, because I was in Riverside, we were filming a movie called Father Militant. And then we were also doing some B-rolls and some scenes on the TV series that we were working on called The Divas of Texas. So, yeah, I mean, if we were around all that smoke and you could see, imagine what these people are going through.
Yeah.
And it's just so, you know, teary-eyed. We can pray for them. You know, they're getting a lot of help. Nancy de los Santos, who was the screenwriter for the movie, another one that I was in, Say a Little Prayer with Luis Fonsi. She opened up a place, like a store or a building, and people were bringing bags of clothes and shoes, and they stationed a place to help for those that lost everything in their house, at least to help them with clothing and shoes. And I thought that was so beautiful of what she and her peers were doing,
Yeah.
putting
Wow.
together. Yeah.
I mean, what's double sad is that I think the insurance companies dropped a lot of.
Oh, I was talking about that today
Yeah.
with someone. I said, that is so sad because it's not their money.
Yeah.
The money belongs to the people that are paying on their insurance.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be covered and taken care of. They chose that insurance company for a reason. And now look,
No, they're not covered, or geez, that's crazy.
yeah.
That's scary because
Yeah.
you lose everything, and now what do you do? You know.
And then what? I know. It is. It's very scary. Now, and then you see on some of the celebrities out there that are donating. I can't remember someone that donated 2.5 million.
I think that was Beyonce.
Was it Beyonce?
I think so.
Right? Like 2.5 or something.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, wow, if everyone that is up there that has that, giving that at least to help these families. My heart also was like with the livestock.
Well, they were saying so far there's $30 billion loss so far. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Yeah,
Like, golly, how do you comprehend that? That
I
kind
know.
of loss.
I know. I mean, how are you going to get?
And the fire's not even put out.
It's not.
That's the worst part.
Yeah,
You know.
it's not. They need. I mean, God have been praying for them to get the rain that we got last week. For that one day. If that rain had just gone to them,
Yeah.
because it is just, oh my God, I just can't. When I look at the videos, and then I see this one gentleman, crying because his dogs, his pets, and then one was saved, and then he goes again and he's calling out for his other one, and here she comes running, and he is like goes hysterical crying, and oh my God, I'm thinking, God, if those were my babies, I would be the same.
Yeah.
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 And another one with her sheep, they all survived, and then the horses that they were able, that survived. I mean, you just think about all that, and it's like, God, here we're okay.
Yeah. Yeah. After I saw some of that footage, I'm like, you know what? I'm not in that situation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah,
Because these people got to start all over.
they do. I ask God.
Especially if the insurance ain't helping. Oh
Yeah,
my God. That's,
exactly. Yeah,
that's horrible.
Lisa de Sousa. Lisa is the president, the founder of the Santa Clarita Film Festival. She put something out there on Facebook yesterday, and what she wrote, she's angry because of the insurance, because of the water.
Yeah.
They cut off the electricity. They cut off everyone's electricity. And, she's like upset because what about the money? Where's all the, the money that people pay that, how can they do that? Cutting everything off. It just, and what she wrote made so much sense, that at that moment I just said, God, Lord, bring a miracle. Bless me with a miracle. Make me a billionaire so I can be able to help all these people,
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's, and all we can do is just everyone out there around the world, if everyone came together and just donated a little bit just to give back. Because today it's California, Los Angeles, all of that area out there. Tomorrow it could be us.
Yeah.
Well, remember 3 years ago, we're all stuck in our homes for a couple of days.
Oh, with the
ice
snowstorm.
storm, yeah.
A lot of us without electricity. And I remember very clear because Eric Moncrief and I had just moved into our house, and not even a week later, that snowstorm hits, and we're without electricity. Although the snow looked beautiful, but it was the worst.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't get out there and enjoy it, you know.
You don't want to let that warm air out.
And especially in that big old house, it was like, oh my God, you know, but that was bad. But imagine, at least
We still
that
had a roof.
melted. We still had a
That's
roof and
right.
everything. But imagine all these people right now.
That's something else.
It's,
Bunch of homeless people.
Yeah.
Straight homeless, you know?
yeah.
No roof or nothing. Now, you mentioned this a few times about your son that passed away. No, I wanted to ask you something because I'm a parent myself. How do you cope with something like that, you know? Because your oldest child, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Eric.
And-
Omar Eric Lopez. It's not easy.
Yeah.
To me, it's like it just happened yesterday.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Every day, there's not a day that doesn't go by that I don't think about Eric or I don't get choked up or cry for Eric. But I know that in my heart, Eric was my biggest cheerleader. And I say this because Eric loved doing the same things I did,
Oh, okay.
you know.
Yeah, we're similar like that. Yeah.
Very. Eric was an awesome actor. You know, we had, at least God gave us the opportunity to work together on a theater play called The Rosary. You know, he didn't play my son; he was the villain. You know, and played that character was just. He was a natural. Eric was a natural when it came to acting, or you know, when it came to putting a song, writing a song. Right then and there, he'd look at you. Right now, he'd be rapping a song about you and your podcast and everything. I could be in the kitchen cooking, and he'd walk in, and he's right there. My mama, you know, in the kitchen, and she's,
Oh,
you
he's
know,
making a song about that
a
too.
song, and it would be a rap song, and it would be, oh, it was just beautiful
Huh? Yeah.
about God. He'd write, you know, a rap. I mean, and it's not even like he would write it. Everything was written in his head.
Oh, okay.
You know, and Eric was very, very intellectual, very smart, you know, and all of them, they're all very smart, you know. That's why I tell them, use your smartness for good things,
Yeah.
you know. But it's hard, you know, when you lose a child. It doesn't matter the age or anything, because I could be doing something and I'll remember Eric, you know, like if I saw some snow, and then you know, I just brought it up to Omar, my ex-husband. I said, wow, the other day I saw something on TV and the father's carrying the baby and it's snowing. I said, and I remember when Eric was a year old and it was snowing. And in 1984, it was right before we even did we came to film, General Hospital came to film here. And we were going to my mom's, and Omar was carrying Eric, and he shut the door, and a big old thing of snow just landed on Eric's toboggan. So it was, and I think about those things, and then I think about when he's sitting in the car and I'm driving, and I'm snapping my fingers to the song, you know, that I'm listening to and singing, and he would look at me, and he would look at his little hands, and then he started snapping his fingers. And he would look, and he would smile, and I still see his little dimples, you know, and he would do the rhythm move and stuff. So, you know, I think about all that, and then even though sometimes, you know, we would have a misunderstanding, you know, and he would leave upset, or, you know, I tell him, Eric, you know, I don't think you should do it like this. He would always call me, I love you, Mama, and I'm sorry. Always apologized. Or if he would walk out the door when he was leaving, if he would forget to tell me, I love you, Mama, you look beautiful, have a good day, he would text me or he'd call me. You know, so yeah, I think about that because I miss that. You know, he was very emotional like me, Eric could cry. I mean, he would cry from anger, from hurt, from pain. And when he would see somebody or a homeless, Bill, he would stop. Tuesday nights, when they would do the Popeye special 99 cent for 2 piece, it went on for some time. You know, he'd say, Mama, we may have the last $5, a box of chicken for you, for me, and for my brother, because he loved his brother. He took care of his brother. So, okay, and then I'm going to buy, and he would get 2 more boxes, and if they were homeless sitting outside, it was for them.
Wow. I guess you got that from seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Eric was always very giving. Eric would give you the last dollar. Eric would, you know, he was always very giving. And I think it was just something that, you know, part of our I want to say our genes, because my mama was the same way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my mother, her neighbor, Kim, went without electricity and water for a whole year.
Jeez.
And my mom would put her extension cord
Oh, wow.
over the fence and the water hose. And my stepdad would say, God, I don't know why the electric bill and the water bill are so high. Would become mom for a whole year was giving Kim, her friend, you know, and she was an older lady till she passed away, you know. But that was my mom. Or I would go over there and there goes my brother Larry with bags of food, you know, cooked meals. And I said, what are you doing, Larry? He goes, I would show up and I said, what are you doing? You know, Mom, she's feeding the neighborhood. But she would send them with my brother to go take them plates of food. So it's something that we've always, that my family does, all of my family, you know. And so that's where Eric, you know, gets it from.
So coping with the loss of your son, did you rely on faith? Did you rely on other family? Where where do you find that support? You know, like that strength.
Yeah, and you know what? That is a great question, because someone said to me the other day, do you think that maybe you still haven't really been able to really like kind of let go somewhat because you're angry with God? You know, I think at the beginning I was a little angry. I didn't want to be angry with God because I love God. And I know Eric used to say, Mama, if God takes me today, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
He was saying that as an adult?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He would say that even before he even passed away.
Wow.
You know, he said, I'm ready to go, Mom, because, you know, I know he's going to need me. I'm like, oh, I know, son, but not right now, you know.
I need you more.
Yeah. And when he, you know, this happened, yeah, I felt like I was just angry also at myself because I never should have left that day. You know, I should have stayed home instead of going to a meeting and a little gathering, because they had lifted the COVID and Fiesta was going to be kicking in, and, you know, they were going to start all that. And so,
Oh, it was that recent. Okay. I didn't know it
yeah,
was that recent.
and I was in 2021.
Okay.
And so that day, he hadn't been feeling well, that he even took the day off. He was putting the new lock on my door that had on the front door with the keypad. He said, Mama, no one's ever going to break into this house. They're going to have a hard time figuring out what the code is to get in. And I remember he worked on that all day. And he said, God, Mom, I was calling out for you. He says, because I was laying down, I was asleep, and I woke up, I couldn't breathe. He said, I couldn't breathe, and I couldn't even call out your name. He said, and the first name that came out was God.
Wow.
And he said, in that moment, I was able to breathe again. And he said, but I don't feel good. He said, so I'm going to stay home today. I said, okay, son, you know. And I thought, God, if I'd have stayed home, you know, I could have given him CPR. I would have known what to do, you know. And so I was like blaming myself.
Sure, yeah.
Because my Eric would have been here. And I think the hardest part is that when I got the call from his friend and he said, something's wrong with Eric, he's not breathing, or his breathing is weird. And I said, perform CPR, call EMS. I'm on my way. So I headed home, and I was over by North Star Mall. And so to drive from North Star Mall to Woodlawn and Fredericksburg Road.
Oh, okay.
But I got there as quick as I could.
That's
but
about
it was,
a 15, 20-minute drive.
yeah,
Okay.
and then seeing first responders there, and they're all in my house. And I see Eric on the floor, and they just said, we tried everything. And to see my son, and I got on my knees and I'm shaking him and trying to wake him up. What can we do? No, he can't be gone. It's hard. So I think about that and I see him. But then I have to also remember that he was a man of integrity and a man of God. He loved he loved his Lord. And he would read his Bible. He said, I'm not perfect, Mama. None of us are perfect. I've made my mistakes. He said, but I know where my love and my passion, my love is God, And he would go, and we had a contract cleaning a warehouse on Chestnut downtown near Houston Street. And so on Tuesday nights is when he would go, like at midnight. And but I heard that before he would go there, he would stop and buy boxes of fried chicken for the homeless under the bridge and cases of water. And my brother Larry would go with him. When they would get back home, whether it was 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning from cleaning, he would tell Larry, no, Uncle, don't go to bed yet. You need to learn about the Bible. So my brother, at the viewing, my brother Larry said, it took my nephew to teach me and show me what the Bible was about. And then I didn't know, a lot of his friends would call him Pastor Eric.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they would call him Pastor Eric because, really, he would literally read his Bible. And that's how, he says, Mom, the mistakes that I've made in life, he says, I've learned that, who I am. So all of that, and I think about that, and I look at Moncreed, and I know that he misses his brother very much because they were joined at the hip. If Moncreed was, lost or something, Eric would cry for him, If Moncreed would do something wrong, Eric would get angry, and he was our rock in our home. Eric was our rock in our home, And so, yeah, I do miss that. Because I always say, I know that if Eric were here right now, things would be so different.
Oh, wow. So, how long did it take you to, because you said you felt like you were mad at God, right?
Yeah.
Did that take you a while to realize that you were mad at God, or you knew that pretty early on?
No, it took me a while, just, I guess maybe about 2 months.
I think a lot of people, they get mad at life, they get mad at people, they get mad at situations. And then if you just kind of just keep going through that, I think eventually you realize you're mad at God. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's the way I felt, because I would say, why did you take him?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why my son?
Yeah.
I needed him here. You know that I needed him here. You know what we were aiming towards, some great things. Now here I am. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
And Eric at the time was working on the floors at the university clinic, the one on Acme and 90. And even the subcontractor, Miss Kelly, had said Eric would come in, and if I would come in with an attitude, oh no, Miss Kelly, not here. God doesn't like that. We got to come with positive energy.
Oh, wow.
And she goes, he even fired me a couple of times. And she's the one that hired him to subcontract.
That's funny.
And she said that at the viewing. He even fired me a couple of times, But that was Eric. Eric was a character. And the neighbor that ended up buying the house to my left, looking, straight to the left, Dr. Carla, she was a doctor. And she's a doctor. And so when she moved in, she saw a wreath on the door. And she wanted to meet me. And she says, oh, I noticed a wreath. Whose photo? And did you lose someone? I said, yeah, my son. I lost him, just a month ago. She goes, and what was his name? I said, his name was Eric. She goes, Eric Lopez? And I said, yes. That moment, her tears just came rolling down. She says, we loved Eric. She goes, I'm one of the doctors from the university clinic. So with her coming next door, it was like I felt God had done that, because sometimes you need to hear things about your loved one and words of encouragement. And I think Dr. Carla was one of those persons that made me see things a little bit different.
Yeah.
Because I was upset with God. It's like I didn't care to go to church anymore. But I realized, no. God loved my son so much, just like he loves his son, that he needed Eric. He needed him more than I was going to need him. Because even though he's not here and things seem hard at times, but no matter what, I don't give up. And I think, okay, what would Jesus do? What would God want me to do? How would Eric do it?
Yeah.
How would Eric do it? Or what would Eric do?
Yeah.
So I look at that, Bill, and I think about, and I'm a woman of faith. I belong to the women of faith. It's a big women's ministry. And I think back and I'm like, wow, I need to bring back my faith. I have faith, and why am I going to be angry? I'm hurt, I'm sad, I'm broken, and I think I'm always going to be broken. But then I also have to remember that I have my son, Moncrief, and I have my daughter, Diamond, and I have my grandchildren. And Eric left 2 daughters behind. I haven't seen them in years, but I know eventually they're going to come looking for me. And I have all their gifts.
And you want to be there for them, right?
Yes, and plus I want to give them, let them know your daddy loved you so much. Look at what he did, the years that they took them from him, because Eric had his girls, and he was tricked one day, and I blame myself for that, for telling him it's okay, let the girls go, they'll be back tomorrow.
Grief is interesting because, it doesn't only come with loss. I think it also comes with a lot of regret.
Yeah.
And you're always like, I wish I could have done this or that, or why didn't I? Yeah, the list goes on and on and on.
Yes.
And so I think, I don't know how the experience you've had, but it's interesting because with that regret, you have to learn to forgive yourself as well.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's one thing when you're mad at God and you're like, okay, I'm not mad at you no more. Then you got to stop being mad at yourself.
Yeah.
And it's something that you have to like work through and kind of forgive yourself about some things, because you don't know. Like you said, you didn't know that was going to happen. But
No.
I'm sure if you did, you would have stayed.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
And so there's times where you just have to just forgive yourself about some things,
Yeah.
you know?
And you're right. I mean, there's moments that I could be driving, and then I'm passing by something that, and at that moment I get angry again. Mm-hmm. And I start screaming like, why, and I even scream at Eric. Eric, why aren't you here?
Yeah.
And then I think about it and I say, okay, you know what? You are here with me, son. You're here everywhere I look. If I drove to Spring Branch and went to one of our favorite places called Antlers, and I'm sitting there with my friend Patricia, and we're eating, and I look out the window, and we're talking about Eric at that moment, because I said, my kids, they love it here, Antlers. I said, and I wanted to send pictures. And as I look out the window, there's a red cardinal. He's your angel. And I'm like, oh my God. And Patricia said, Brandy, he's right there. And then he flew from there and he came to the closer window.
Now, what does the red cardinal mean? Because I'm not familiar with that.
Well, they say that when you see a red cardinal, that is like a symbol of that your loved one,
Okay.
your child, is right there with you.
Okay. Okay.
You know, so and to me, whether it means that or not, it brings me peace.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, spiritually, it brings me peace.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I just thought, wow, Eric is here. You know,
Comfort and
okay,
peace,
so
yeah.
you know, and one of the things, and I wanted to read up on this, that you know how they mention the orbs, or sometimes you see,
Like orbs, but you mean like circles of light or something like that?
yes,
Yeah. Okay.
you know, I want to educate myself more on that, on what that means. And the reason I say this is because last week I had just gotten back to the house, and I was walking into the bathroom, and all of a sudden in the house you see it.
Wow.
I saw this white, and I'm like, oh my God, that was an orb in here in the house. And it was just me and them. The lights were off.
Yeah.
So it's not like it was something, because I was just going to turn on the light
Yeah.
when I saw it.
Yeah.
And it just kind of like did this thing, and then it's gone.
Wow.
So I need to find out what that all means.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
But, you know, yeah, I have no right. There should be no reason for me to be upset with God. I love him, and I trust him, and I only believe in him. You know, and I know that my Eric is there.
Those moments of anger, that's when you have like moments of not trusting God, right? You're
Yes.
like, you made a mistake.
Especially when something goes wrong.
Yeah. You're like,
Especially
you made a mistake. Like, what are you thinking? What are you doing? Like, you know, you didn't check with me. This is a mistake. You're
yeah.
you know, I don't trust your judgment right now. You know,
Yeah,
kind of
it's
a
like,
thing.
I mean, you know, why? You know, I'll
Yeah.
ask him, why? Why am I going through this? What have I done?
Yeah.
What have I done to you? What have I done to these two people? You know, sometimes the people can be very ugly. You know, and you want to help everybody, and your intentions are good intentions, but some people don't have good intentions.
Yeah, sure.
You know, and I've experienced that this past year. Last year I experienced a lot. That this time around I'm very skeptical. I'm very
Guarded.
yes, and I
Yeah.
just keep a little handful of my closest friends.
Yeah.
You know, because I you know, I think about, you know, why me? But then I have to stop and think, Bill, okay, God is testing my faith. How much do I really trust him? How much do I believe in him? Because if I say that I have faith in God and I trust him and I believe in him and I love him, then I need to do that. Give it to him. I need to give him, that's the bottom line. I need to give him everything that I'm feeling and let him handle it. Because I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. And for the longest time, for 3 years, Eric passed away April 23rd, 2021. And all that time, I hold a lot inside.
Wow.
Even when I'm crying, I hold it inside.
You're still holding on to it.
And so I was told, just scream and let it out. Even if I'm angry, I got to scream and let it out. And so I find myself doing that now.
You know what's interesting is that, and I've said this a number of times before, but I never, when I was new to Bible stuff, I didn't like the book of Psalms because I've only heard people quote positive things. Praise God for this, praise God for that. And I'm like, there's no way you can always feel like praising God. There's no way. Life ain't like that. So then I was like, let me give this book a chance. Let me just read through the entire thing. And I saw every spectrum of the human emotion in that. Anger, jealousy, rage, joy, everything.
Everything.
All
Yeah.
good and ugly emotions. And I said to myself, you know what? If God was okay with this being part of the Bible, then he's okay with handling our raw emotion, however it is we feel.
Yeah.
And since that moment, my my communication with God got so much more authentic and just real. And it's hard for me now to carry things around because however it is I feel, I'm going to let them know. And anytime your kid throws a tantrum, especially when they're young or when they have that kid mind, they're just throwing a tantrum, blowing off steam. And so anytime I'm blowing off steam, throwing a tantrum, I'm like, I know, God, I'm just throwing a tantrum. But thank you for being patient and not having your feelings hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
In all reality,
Yeah.
So, but that's helped me quite a bit to understand he's not going to get hurt by our tantrums because he knows we're just going through something,
Yeah.
and we're going to get over it as soon as we release it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just thought I'd share that real quick.
Wow. No.
I just have to say, I'm sorry, I don't think Mom is going to be able to make it.
No, it's all right. We didn't think so. It's okay.
Yeah. No, and you're right, and sometimes, yeah, we do have to go through certain things and especially just let it out. Or if there's something that you feel and you want to share it or you want to tell someone, this is what I think,
Because sometimes you need to figure out what it is you really feel by expressing it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And if you don't express it, they're not going to know and you're never going to let it out.
Yeah.
So it just builds up. It'll just build up.
Yeah.
And then when you really throw your tantrum
Yeah. You're throwing it at people and at everyone else.
and it's not fair.
Yeah.
It isn't fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't know what it's all about, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for being on the podcast, Brandy. Thank you for being honest,
Thank
with
you.
your
Yeah.
experiences. And I really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
If anybody wants to follow you or anything like that, you want to let them know?
Yeah,
where
they can.
find you?
They can find me on, of course, some of the platforms is Facebook, Instagram. I think it's Brandy Time 210 or something like that. I don't know because I don't really always or something like that. But Brandy Lopez, just Google my name.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll find me working on other films, the TV series King of the South, and then I've got another movie that in a couple of weeks, and they just sent me the script. I'll be a reporter, and that's Alamo Zombies.
Oh, yeah.
It's a comedy.
Oh, wow.
I said, "Oh my God!" I'm gonna go. They're gonna turn into a zombie. No, I don't know.
Bill and I hope to be a little part of the reality TV show.
Oh yes, and then we have the reality TV show. Jaime Vidal with Street Talk magazine. He said, "Brandy, okay, I'm getting ready to pull the plug to get ready. So let's get ready." So he really wants to meet with you guys because that's another one that's going to be a great one. And then of course the one on Sunday.
Yeah.
This coming
We're
Sunday.
Looking forward to going to that
Yeah,
one.
that's going to be great.
Hopefully I'll be on film.
No, you are going to be on
Oh, I
film.
am? Okay,
Yes,
awesome.
you are going to be on film. King
I'll
of the
be
South.
I'll be signing signatures at your nearest Popeyes. All right?
He'll have the longest the meet and greet. So be sure and get there early because otherwise you'll have to wait 2 blocks down the street.
That's right.
Wow, that's Bill for you.
Well, I don't know if there's anything else you want to mention before we hop off. or-
No, I just want to, let everyone know this is a new year. And just remember to always support each other. Support those that are out there, the homeless, the veterans, and most importantly, always keep an eye out for the children. There's a lot of the human trafficking ugliness that is going around in this world. And so we just have to be careful and protect our loved ones every time. Be alert. Always be alert with your surroundings.
Any
Absolutely.
events you're going to be coming up with this week?
Yeah, well, actually, we're filming on Sunday. Where is it that we're filming? Did you look at the?
Yeah, it's
It's in the south side, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You want me to pull up the address real quick?
Yeah, will you pull up the address? Because, Bill, actually, we're inviting everyone who would like to be a part of this to just come out and join us. Come dress warm. We have 2 of the
Just casual,
warm. Yeah.
not to be
Yeah.
fancy or whatever. Just
It's the we have a couple of Tejano artists that will be there, Ram Herrera and Jay Perez. That will be part of this scene.
okay, cool.
Yeah. And Gary Hobbs, if you're out there watching.
It's 1821 Southwest Military Drive. 8 p.m. Sunday, January 19th.
Yep.
They could replay it.
Yeah.
They
Good.
could replay
Yeah.
it.
And that way they can, come on out and join us and be a part of King of the South. It's an awesome TV series. And this is going to be the finale for the episode 1. And then February, we start the new episode. And this is where I really come full speed.
All right.
Yep.
Awesome.
So
Very
it'll be
cool.
great. It'll be great. And then also I'll let y'all know about the Alamo Zombie.
That's interesting.
I'm looking forward to that
That's
one
interesting.
because I've never done a comedy. This is the rom-com, yes, but I was an assistant on Luis Fonsi's assistant, but this is a comedy, a zombie movie at that. So, yep. Okay, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram. Brandy Lopez. Just look me up, Brandy Lopez. I'm there.
Right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Really do
Bill. God, I
appreciate it.
really had fun. This
Yeah,
was awesome.
It was nice. Really nice.
Yeah, and I hope you enjoyed my house.
That's right.
Right? Okay. Till next time.
Well,
I'll
guys,
be back.
thanks for watching the episode. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Adios.